Hello, guys, and welcome back to Quality Shot Tennis. Today, we've got the final in Toronto between KHACHANOV and Ben Shelton, the 22-year-old taking on the 29-year-old for the second time in their head-to-head. They've played once before. Shelton won earlier this year in Indian Wells in straight sets. KHACHANOV looking for a second Masters title. Shelton looking for his first. Shelton just taking out Taylor Fritz. KHACHANOV just taking out Zverev. So both of the somewhat underdogs in those matches getting through. So we have an underdog final, and it'll be an interesting one. Let me know who you guys think is going to win. I'm taking Shelton in. I'll take Shelton in 3 sets. I'll take Shelton in 3. Let me know your guys' prediction. I think both guys are playing well, but Shelton this week has seemed to just play the best tennis I've ever seen him play. I thought before his loss to Vokina in Washington last week that he was really playing the best I'd seen him play also. When he beat Tiafoe, for example, I thought he played incredible. So I'm happy to see him put together a really fantastic week. The court suit his game. He's actually returning pretty decently, and his defense out of the backhand corner is about as good as I've ever seen from him. He's just a really tough player. Against Fritz, he was doing really well from the back of the court. So he's been impressive. That's what I've got to say about that. And against Demon as well. He's going Trinidad and also at Boom. But Kareem's also definitely a dangerous player. So, I mean, I've seen a lot of people be like, this final is not interesting. But it's like, you got to give KHACHANOV his respect. Like, come on. I understand that KHACHANOV to this point functionally has sort of been the tour's what would you call it? He's been the kind of David Ferrer of types where there are these certain players that beat the players outside the top 10 almost every time, but then to the players in the top 10, they almost always lose. KHACHANOV to this point has been a lot that kind of a player, but he deserves his flowers. He deserves his credit, and he deserves to be in the final. I don't think he's a strange Masters 1000 finalist at all. He's really not. If you look at his career to this point, people underrate him. I mean, you can't consistently get to quarterfinals, round 16s the way he does if he doesn't play a really good high level of play. Certainly not flashy. He's not going to hit the flashy winner, but he can play some really impressive tennis, no doubt about it, consistently. And Shelton is definitely playing the level of a Masters 1000 winner, let alone a Masters 1000 finalist. So I think this is a better final than people are giving it credit for. I'm here for it. Like I said, Shelton is 1-0 in the head-to-head. 6-3, 7-5 over KHACHANOV earlier this year. Their second meeting about to begin in a final of the Masters 1000. Shelton misses the serve wide. Second serve coming up for Shelton. Forehand, Shelton, cross court, too good. 15 love. This is the stream where you want to be at. You're here for the final of Toronto. Cincinnati's already begun. I don't know why we have a final on Thursday. Wow. Mbogo fighting back against Osaka. Jeez. Keep an eye on that one. Oh, okay. Damn. Mbogo fighting back in against Rybakina and now against Osaka. It's crazy. I just checked the score for the first time in a minute. I had not seen that. Mbogo won the second set. I'm happy I was able to interview Mbogo at Wimbledon, like 7-minute interview before she had her breakthrough tournament. Outrageous tournament for her, no matter what happens in the final, obviously. Even if she lost 6-0, 6-0 in the final, this week's been an amazing week. Even if she lost to Rybakina, it's like this is a career breakthrough win. But I knew she was good. I knew that girl was good. When I watched her 3 or 4 matches at Wimbledon, I was like, and talked to her, she just, yeah. She's like one of those people that's like can't be more obvious. They're ready for the big time pretty soon. Big serve from Shelton, holds to love, 1-0. This guy seems ready for his moment. 1-0. KHACHANOV's route, by the way, to get here, his first Masters 1000 in almost 7 years, which to me is a bit surprising. But it's the longest gap between two Masters 1000 finals in a player's career to this point. Masters 1000s only started since 1990, so that's a 35-year long stat. But still, I'm surprised that there's never been a longer gap, but it is kind of interesting when you think about it as the fact that Khachanov had that breakthrough, beat Djokovic, I think in straight sets in Paris, played that amazing match at like 20 years old, 22, 21 years old, and everybody thought that he was going to be this guy. And now he's in his second final so many years later. But he's been real consistent for the most part since then, especially over the last few years when he's been healthy. It's been very consistent. But his route to get here, beat Ficovic, Argentine player. Then he beat Emilio Nava in 3 sets. Casper Ruud in straights. Alex Michelsen in straight sets. Then he beat Zverev in a 3rd set tiebreaker. And now he's got Shelton. Meanwhile, Ben taking out Dimnor. He's taking out Fritz. Very high-level, solid players. Kaboli, 3rd set tiebreaker. Nakashima, 3rd set tiebreaker. Manarino in straights. Definitely a that's a good route. Like, that's a difficult route, especially the score lines when you look at Nakashima. When you look at Nakashima and Kaboli. Kaboli was serving for the match. He was really serving for the match. He had a big chance there. Arguably playing the better tennis of the two, but before he served for the match, for sure. Backhand Shelton pushes along. 30-15 for Khachanov. Wins a long rally there. Let's go. Masters 1000 final time. It's the first Masters 1000 final since Rome, I guess. Alcaraz won Rome, beating Sinner in the final. First one since then. It's kind of funny. You have Sinner, Alcaraz, Rome final, and then on either side of it, you have Khachanov versus Shelton. You have Menzik versus Djokovic, Miami. You have Draper versus Runa in Indian Wells. We'll see if we get another Sinner Alcaraz final in Cincy, or at least for one of them to make the final. Miami, Alcaraz lost to Goffin. Sinner obviously didn't play. He didn't play Indian Wells either. Alcaraz losing to Draper in Indian Wells. And then this one, obviously, neither of them played it. Big serve from Khachanov. 1-1. I was happy to get a chance to ask a question to Khachanov after his round of 16 victory at Wimbledon before he made the quarterfinals. Definitely an interesting guy. He's one of those guys that I think everybody on the tour respects, and you should. Serve from Shelton. To the net, second serve. Hey, how are you doing, Mike? Good to see you. Listening and liking. I've got Shelton in 3. Same. Love it. I'm Tom. Any links? Sorry, man. I don't have anything. The only thing I can say is like Tennis TV. I'm sure Tennis Channel is probably showing Osaka and Boko. So sorry about that. Don't have anything. If Boko wins the tournament, that is quite the whatever, like I'm here moment. Just kind of out of nowhere for most people. Be kind of crazy and awesome. It's a fun final in general. Both great storylines on both sides. I guess that's what makes sport the most exciting, is when you have stories like that. Not just in Boca, but in Osaka as well. She hasn't made a Masters 1000 final in 3.5 years, and she's one of the highest peak levels we've seen on WTA Tour, arguably all century, but certainly of the last 10 years. and of active players. 30-15 for Shelton. But you could argue this whole century. Have to give a shout to other players like Justine Henin, Sharapova. There's other players to name. Venus, Serena. I didn't name Serena first because I felt like everybody thought of her. But there's a lot of players. Have to give a shout out to Azarenka as well. Serve here for Shelton. And Iga. Don't forget about Iga as well. Serve down the tee. Shelton serves and volleys. That's a good play for Shelton. This might end up being a bit of a serve bot matchup. It really might end up being a bit of a serve bot matchup. Shelton's had great success this week coming to net. He really has. He's made a thing of it. He's come to net more than any other tournament I've seen him play, and he's done it with good success. Alrighty, Max, good to see you. Came in right at time. Still early stages in this one. Man, long deuce game in Boko and Osaka. Let me know your prediction, guys. I've got Shelton in 3. I was tempted to say Shelton in 2. I said Shelton in 2 against Fritz, and I got it right, which I was proud of and happy with, to be honest. I'm going Shelton in 3. I mean, come on. Khachanov, with his resume to this point, he's had a good his resume in Masters 1000 finals is 100%. So don't play around with him. But it is funny looking at his record, because his match record 303 and 217. I'm gonna do some math real quick. 303 divided by, what would that be, like 520? His win rate 58%. Just definitely higher than his record. It's way better than his record against like top 10 guys. He's won like 2 of his last like 35 or something. I don't know the exact number, but it's just funny looking at how good his consistency is versus going all the way to finals and titles at tournaments. But if you just look at him as a reliable, consistent player, consistently performing well in tournaments, this guy has made 6 quarterfinals at slams, 2 semis, which is really solid. 68% win rate at slams. And if we're just talking about 4th rounds, Korean has made 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 4th rounds of slams, 12 second weeks of slams. And at Masters, it's pretty much equally as good. And he's also made 9 quarterfinals and 6 semifinals at Masters 1000s. He's only won 1 big title. But come on, that's an impressive resume. No matter how you put it, at the highest level of the game, that's why people respect him, man. The players do. Has Shelton ever won a tournament like this before? Nope. Joey, he has not. This would be breaking new ground. This would be breaking new ground. Before this week, he's made 2 semis at slams. It's really the best he's done. He hasn't made a final of a Masters. He hasn't won a Masters. He actually hadn't even made a semis of a Masters before this week. But yeah, this would be breaking new ground for Ben. He's been around, people know how dangerous he is. Certainly not a surprising name for a Masters 1000 champ. It's not like if, I don't know, like Boo won a Masters. But it's still exciting when there is a first-time winner, if he does pull this out, which you really never know. I won't be incredibly surprised if Karine pulls this out either. I'm expecting Shelton. I would say I'd be mildly surprised, but like the most mild surprise level of surprise that you could have while it still being a surprise. And Boca up 3-1. She pulled out the long game. That girl is clutch. Shelton misses a volley. Had a chance there. Could have made 40-30. Apply some pressure. Misses the volley at the net. 2-2. Shelton continues to take risks, move forward. He's going to be the more explosive, aggressive player. KHACHANOV is going to do what he does best, do well behind his serve, big serve, +1, control the court, but mostly just kind of grind it out, play solid shots, constant depth, controlling the court, and just seeing what he can do. Shelton, he's going to go for it. And we'll see which one wins the contest here. But these courts, I just feel like maybe Shelton is having too much success on these courts. But KHACHANOV's going to get confidence from that Zverev one. Their head-to-head is not extensive at all. And these conditions here are very, very different from Indian Wells. Very different. You can say it's an outdoor hard court, but it's a very different condition. It's nice to see Shelton advancing to his first Grand Slam, first Masters 1000 final. Yeah, it's definitely not a Grand Slam merchant. No, which is nice to see. I agree. Yeah, Shelton's a big time player. I mean, there are some of these guys that you can just tell show up for the big moment. Obviously, Shelton seems to like a crowd. He's quite loud and boisterous, but he likes a big moment. He shows up for these matches, and he seems like he's improving. He's getting closer and closer, and he's one of the guys that I can imagine. I don't know if he'll do it or not, but I can imagine taking out Sinner or Alcaraz in a big moment, or winning a big title like this. So he's one of the few guys that I can pretty easily imagine doing that. Very few number of guys, because the gulf is ridiculous right now between Sinner and Alcaraz and everyone else. Shelton serve, 40-15, got a game point. Big serve down T. KHACHANOV tries to block it back, gets it, good return. Backhand goes well wild. KHACHANOV would want that backhand back. Neither guy having any sort of progress in either of the other player service games, so tiebreaker seems like it might be on the way, might be on the horizon. Look at Mboko, man. Sofia Kenin, Boskova, Goff, Rybakina, and now maybe Osaka. She's already beaten three slam champions, right, in this tournament, and which I think is like she's the only Canadian player in the Open era to beat three slam champions in a single tournament. Forget her age; she's the only person, period. And then you add in the fact that she could beat a fourth if she puts this away against Osaka. Outrageous. In fact, Osaka's won more slams than any of the other players she's beaten. And now she's at deuce on Osaka's serve. Shelton apparently has 2 career titles. What can you tell us, Anthony? What do you mean? If I understand your comment, Mike, are you saying like, how does he only have 2? If he, has done as well as he has at big tournaments? Let me take a look at his finals record. I mean, yeah, Shelton. I mean, first title he won was an ATP 500, beat Karatsev in the final, but I think he beat somebody pretty good in the semis that I felt like was even more impressive. Maybe quarters. Yeah, I beat Tommy Paul there. Beat Tiafoe in Houston on clay, even though it's a really weird clay court. Couple 500 finals against Pechi Pericard, Zverev. I mean, honestly, the only thing I'll say is he peaks in the big tournaments. It just seems like that's the case, which is a good thing for him. Seems like he peaks in the bigger tournaments, particularly the slams. He hasn't been the most consistent player ever, but I think this year he's over the last 52 weeks easily the most consistent period of his career, and it shows in his ranking, obviously. But I think over the last like 6 months, he, for whatever reason, hasn't reached that many finals. But he has done really well in slams. He's done really well in making a Masters final at least, and other things. So it's partially coincidental or incidental. Like he just hasn't, but he usually peaks more at the big tournaments, I would say, particularly slams. Do you know what they are? It's Houston and Tokyo. But the finals record doesn't look bad at all. I mean, 3 of his 4 finals are in ATP 500 level, and the other one's a 250 that he won, beating Tiafoe in the final. So, I mean, it's a pretty good finals record, all things considered. And he's still young, so that's what I'd say about that. But he peaks in the big matches, it seems like. And, there's a lot of people that don't like Shelton. You can have whatever feelings you want about him, but he's definitely shown he can be a hell of a player, honestly. And we'll see if he if he really can, go a step further and start beating Sinner and Alcaraz consistently. Nothing to say that will happen. But at this level, I mean, beating Fritz in the semis, that's definitely, he's shown that's something he's capable of with a high level. Hits a double fault there. Love 15. Shelton or Karian? I'm going Shelton. It's about time for him to get in 1,000. I think he deserves it. I agree. Certainly with the level he's played so far this week, I think it's deserved. Okay, it's deserved to whoever wins it. If Karian plays too good, he gets it, then he'll win. Shelton's played about as smart, I'd say, high IQ tennis as I've seen him play in his career this week. No doubt about it. Mixing up the game, but not, most of the time not going for too much too early and just building out the points better than I've seen him in a minute, but also taking his chances. I mean, he plays his game. He's not trying to be Alex de Minaur. That's fine. 30-15 to Ben Shelton. But the thing I will say is that Kareem has the experience, right? He's been in a big final. He's been in a lot of moments of like big semifinals. Like I said, this is like what his 6th, 7th Masters semifinal. So he's been in this kind of moment more than Shelton, a little bit more. So he'll like if he can kind of mentally show up a little bit more. That's a drop shot. Kareem might. Well, that was a good shot, not because he hit the drop shot perfectly, but because Kareem was way out of position for it. So that's another showing of Ben playing smart tennis. Yeah, Kareem was way out of position, and Ben hit the drop shot. I think, yeah, I mean, it's a good shot, even if he doesn't have the drop shot touch of Alcaraz. Serve Shelton, forehand chip, Kareem, Forehand, back to the forehand of Karine. Forehand, that's going to be out, 40-30. I think this is the first time a player's won, one of them has won 2 points in their return game. First serve points won. Karine is 7 for 9. Shelton, that was the first serve point one. That first serve that was the first point that he won that he lost when he had a first serve. We got there in the end. 40-30 here with the second serve. Look for Karine. Shelton 9 for 10 when he makes the first serve. Good forehand return from Karine. Now backhand from Shelton. Backhand Karine. Back to the backhand of Shelton. It's a slice. Backhand Karine. Down the line. Backhand. Shelton defending. Forehand. Cross court. Backhand Shelton. Goes in a little bit bigger. Defense to offense. Forehand. Big to the forehand of Karine. Another forehand Shelton. Longest rally of the match so far. Forehand. Down the line. Forehand slice. Karine's a great shot. Slice. Forehand down the line. That's why he's in the final, ladies and gentlemen. KHACHANOV gets the deuce. Point in the match so far. Hell of a forehand slice. Middle of that rally. Set up a very strong forehand down the line. After about almost 25 shots. What was that? 20 shots? That's this guy. He'll just break you down. He'll play solid. He'll break you down. Points won over 9 shots. 4-0 for KHACHANOV so far. Shelton will want to get the point done on the 8th shot of the rally. Another first serve miss for Shelton. This could be danger time before he knows it. From 40-15 up. Serve. Shelton. It's a chance for Karine here. Forehand. Shelton misses. That's an unforced error. Karine can just make players feel a little bit uncomfortable. He's a very consistent player. He doesn't let up often. Very, very solid. What you see is what you get. You just know he's going to play a great level of tennis out there for the most part. And really across all surfaces. He shows up. And once in a while that works even against the top players. The top of the top. Not that Shelton's quite there, but he's close. That goes out from the return of Karine. Deuce. Shelton's such a charismatic guy. Very entertaining to watch him play. I certainly think he's one of the most entertaining big servers that we've ever had. In terms of his serve and also the rest of his game. Kick serve, Shelton. Forehand of Karine. Forehand. Shelton missed it. That's a good return. Knows that Shelton might have a forehand play on that and that Karine's out of position, but he risks it anyway. But has enough depth on the shot. Even way out of position. Doesn't matter. Karine's just a confident player. He knows he can rely on his shots, and that's dangerous. Another look for Karine. This would be a... I reckon he breaks, he wins the set. Karine. Looking at his serve numbers, and Shelton is not making first serves. One blink, and that might be the set for Shelton. Second serve. Big. Backhand. Return to the forehand of Shelton. Big. Down the line. Forehand. Karine. Defending. Drop shots in the net. Karine. First blood. 4-3. Looking for a second Masters 1000 title at 29 years old. He's up 4-3. Look at him, Boko, 5-1 up. What a comeback. Comeback. The comeback girl, Toronto. She's killing it. Oh, let's go, Victoria. Oh, yeah. I was just reading a interview with Mboko when she was like 14 from this like French magazine. Interview she back in like February of 2021. Where I guess they already knew she was going to be a great player. They were like talking to her, and she was like training in this academy, and she was very intentional about her training, even at that young of an age, which shows how she's been able to, already be here so young. But wow, Victoria Mboko, WTA 1000 champion, potentially. The crazy road on to get there, ridiculous. That would be kind of a funny Karine Khachanov and Victoria Mboko to Canada champions. That would be pretty. I mean, I would be happy to see it. I'm not gonna lie. Shelton's still very much in this match. Osaka's gonna have to put in a lot of work to come back against Mboko, though. I reckon Mboko's gonna win that one. Oh, let's go. Go, Mboko. Crushing it. I was saying it earlier, but I got a chance to talk to her at Wimbledon. She was obviously just very nice, and she was also very interesting and an amazing player, very clearly. Had a heartbreaker. I was watching qualifying. She had 5 match points and lost it. She had a lucky loser into the main draw. It got to second round, maybe even third round, but I think second round. I believe it's second round. Had a good run at the French as well. Yeah, she's already ready for her moment. Backhand down the line. Backhand slice to Shelton. Forehand. Khachanov to the backhand of Shelton. Forehand of Khachanov. Big. It's a shank from Shelton. Bounces into the crowd behind him. 15 left for Khachanov. Shelton very possible to come back here, but the way Khachanov's serving, it's going to be tough to get this set. Mboko's got championship point, I think. The score is right. She's trying to breadstick Osaka. Oh, let's go. Mboko got it done. Dude. Victoria freaking Mboko is a WTA 1000 champion. Watch out. Watch out for her name. Next great rivalry, maybe with Swiatek or with Mira Andreeva. Who knows? But she's there. She's done it. No matter what happens now, she's a WTA 1000 champion. That is ridiculous. That first set, she was pretty much, I thought, I mean, it was the same thing I thought against Rybakina, and she managed to come back against both. Ridiculous. Generational talent. Drop shot. Shelton runs. Lob. Behind Khachanov. What a lob. Pass. Of course, not that big. Shelton makes it smaller. 30 all. Hell of a lob. Very, very difficult to pull that off. He's had a few lobs I've been very impressed with throughout this tournament, honestly. That was a hell of a return, too, to be honest, with the slice. Great foot speed and athleticism. Just vision. Knowing exactly where he wants to put that ball. Good stuff. Karine ready to serve. Shelton ready to return. Crowd's getting excited. They got to be quiet so that Khachanov can serve. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening exactly. Oh, I think there was just a flare that that Mboko won in Montreal or something, if I'm not mistaken. Like the crowd got excited that Mboko won or something. I don't know. That was strange. Not a great moment for the crowd noise, but Toronto cheering Mboko, I think, if I understood what the umpire said. Strange. Backhand, cross court to the forehand of Khachanov. Forehand, short. Shelton goes back to the forehand. Had a chance to go down the line, didn't take it. Backhand, Shelton. Backhand of Khachanov, back to the backhand of Shelton. Slice. Shelton going a little bit harder now. Back to the backhand of Khachanov. Forehand. Right off the baseline. Khachanov a little bit lucky there. Backhand, slice. Forehand slice now. Khachanov, another long rally. Another slice from Shelton. Backhand. Cross court, forehand to Shelton. Backhand down the line, misses it wide. Shelton finally winning a 9+ shot rally. Good play at the end there. A couple strong shots. And too much for Khachanov. Couldn't find another strong shot himself. 30-40, break point for Shelton. Points 1 over 9 shots. Khachanov 5, Shelton 1. Not a great stat for Shelton. He's got break point. I don't know why they showed as if that would be a positive thing. I guess it's showing that was his first one he won. Still a good thing for Khachanov, to be fair, that stat overall. Big moment in this match already. 30-40. Huge moment here. Serve. Second serve. Forehand. Shelton. Down the middle. Forehand to Khachanov. Goes to the back of Shelton. Forehand to Khachanov. Inside out. Forehand of Shelton. That's what I don't like. He doesn't need to go for that big forehand down the line. He misses it more than he makes it. Pull back a little bit, you know, for my book. I don't think it's a great position to hit that. But, I mean, listen, he might prove me wrong. Might start making those. But from how I've seen him, he hasn't been making a whole lot of them. It's in the net. Shelton. Advantage to Khachanov. How are you doing, Naked Eyes? Good to see you. So I think Shelton's uncomfortable in those rallies. He just wants to get out of it. But, I mean, I think especially in that point, he had a chance of getting an advantageous position. Then he goes for a shot. He'll make 1 out of 5 times. I just don't think it's worth it. Especially how flat he was hitting it. Just doesn't seem particularly like a high percentage shot clearing the net. That's a backhand slice that goes out 5-3. It feels like Karine is the more solid of the two so far and serving very well as well. 5-3 for Karine. Forehand down the line. Very good from Ben. 15 love. And Boko definitely caught my eye a lot at Wimbledon. Because she was so like speaking to her, she was like the most mature person I spoke to, and she was 18. I was like, what? It was so weird. One of the questions I asked her, we didn't post on the channel, but I asked her about a comment that she made before talking about how she approaches matches, her mentality. And she said, I think of every match as new day, new me. Whether I win, whether I lose, I approach every match new day, new me. She's like said, like, that's my mantra. That's what I think to myself. And I asked her about it, and she just gave me such a long, very thought out, mature answer. Whereas and she said like her goal is to like get into the first rounds of tournaments. She's not thinking too big picture yet, just what's next up. And she was just very mature, kind of great mentality, very grounded person. And I was like, man, if she's like this at 18, she's going to be a problem soon. Hell of a player, mentality in her game. She hits so big, and she looks, she's a talent. So I did not get to watch Osaka at all, except for the last 10 seconds that she lost. Jeez, damn. We thinking Shelton still got this game. I do, but we'll see. Good to see you, Anthony. Chat, good to see you. What do you think of Ben on this finals? I think so far could probably play a little bit better, but he's we're still relatively early. I think he might lose this first set, but I still think he's got time to find his footing in this match, to be fair. But I mean, like I said, I think Karine has very much a chance in this one, but I'll still take Shelton. Max, Naked Eyes, thank you everybody joined in so far. Mark, Mike, Joey, X-Play Z, Boom, Trinidad. Everyone's joined in so far. But it's so weird to have Cincinnati and Canada going on at the same time. Like, that's so weird to me. Like, it's Thursday, we have a Masters final, and we already have another Masters tournament going on. It just feels like this final is being too overshadowed. It's like, what are we doing? I don't know. It just feels a little bit all wrong to me, but hey, Joe, thank you for the 5. Appreciate it. And they have a great stream, getting some shut eye. Catch up with you soon. All right, I'll see you soon. Hopefully at a live stream for Cincinnati, maybe. Oh, by the way, while you're here, I want to anybody who's watching, I will be at Winston-Salem Open. So you guys know. So watch out for like content around that time. I'll be giving like interviews to players, hopefully, if everything's okay. So yeah, that should be exciting. I will be at Winston-Salem. That'll be August 17th to 20th. Definitely ring the notification bell so you get notified for all the interviews and stuff that I'll be giving out and stuff. And also, let me do this real quick. I'm gonna find the Mboko interview that I did, and I'm gonna link it in the chat just for anybody who's interested. If you want to just like open it on a new tab and mute my stream for a minute and just watch that or listen to it. Let's see if I can find it. It was one of my favorite interviews and most memorable interviews I gave at that tournament anyway. Let me see. Copy link. Perfect. All right, I put it in the chat. Anybody who's interested, the Mboko interview from Wimbledon. Baseline points won so far, 20 for Khachanov, 12 for Shelton. Khachanov at 30-15 here. Serving out the first set. I feel like this would be quite an emotional moment for Korean, you would think, winning this tournament, because it's been so long since his first, when everybody kind of thought he was the next guy up. He's kind of been overshadowed by Rublev, Medvedev, Zverev, Tsitsipas, all these other guys. So this would be a big moment. Good net play from Shelton. Good anticipation. Using his racket like a wall. The forehand to set it up was impressive, even though it was short. It was a good placement anyway. Kind of took Khachanov out of position and then was able to close off the court with the volley. And the move forward, 30-all. Boko's such a cool player. I actually watched all our Wimbledon matches, including qualifications. Nice. Yeah, I watched them all live. It was amazing, but I'm glad you were able to see him on TV anyway. Shelton with a break point back. Rooting for Shelton. How are you doing, Vines? Good to see you. Suddenly's got a chance to fight back in the set. Second break point for Shelton. Yet to break yet. Yet to break yet. Nice sentence, Anthony. He's yet to break. Good serve, but Shelton just got to return with a net cord backhand up high to the backhand of Khachanov. Very awkward point. Another net cord. I mean, the luckiest point for Shelton. He gets weird bounce, 2 net cords, baseline shot, whatever. But he finds a way through. Back it even. Shelton with the apology. Absolutely ridiculous, awkward rally, but on the most important point in the match yet. 5-5. Thanks for joining in, Joe. And thank you for the 5 again. donation. Back even. Khachanov had his chance there. Shelton. First serve missed long. This would be big switch momentum if Shelton can pull out the set now. Yeah, great drop volley. That's what I'm saying. Shelton's just had the net play down. 15 love. Korean already shown Shelton it's not going to be easy if he wants to get that first title, but he's playing a good tennis now. Shelton. Finding his footing in this one. Forehand, chip. Forehand of Shelton. Back to the backhand of Korean. Back into Shelton. The forehand of Khachanov. Back into Shelton. Another net cord. Forehand Khachanov put away. Good. if Shelton gets another net cord, that'd be ridiculous. Shelton was another point with a net cord. How you doing, Lucio? Big serve from Shelton. Biggest in the match so far. 234. 224. I thought it was 234. But anyway, big serve. Both guys not making a whole lot of first serves, though. Shelton's at 54%. Khachanov at 52%. Big serve from Shelton. Out wide. High RPM. Even if Khachanov standing right there, it would go over him, even though he's like 6'6" or whatever. Big serve. Down T, backhand. Khachanov to forehand of Shelton. Goes big down the line. Doesn't make it. 40-30. Goes big with the forehand. Can't quite control it the right way. Crowd being treated to a close first set. Big serve out wide. Too good. Another huge serve from Ben. 6-5. Shelton, one of these guys who has a lot of communication with his box throughout a match. I guess he definitely takes advantage of the new coaching rules where you can have a little bit of coaching. It is interesting the different ways that people go about it, because Korean, I haven't heard anything his way or any kind of communication between him and his box. It's all valid now. There's no real wrong or right way, I guess. But Ben, I guess, kind of takes the Carlos Alcaraz. Here you go. We're back. All right, here we go. 6-5 for Shelton. I think I just had some technical difficulties of some kind, but we're back. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. If it does, I'll try to fix that up. Korean to serve at 5-6. So it'd be a tough mental hurdle for Korean to get over if Shelton pulls out the set. And it would be especially a bit of a blow if he can do it breaking Korean yet again. That would be Shelton's third straight game. If it could happen. That's another miss from Korean. Love 15. Shelton firmly with the momentum now. And that can happen sometimes with Korean, just that doesn't play the big points quite as well against the top guys. Obviously, because the top guys are playing those big points exceptionally well. Short from Shelton, forehand down line. It's gonna be too good. Shelton can't just feed him a short forehand. That's gonna be swallowed and spit out. 15 all. Serve Korean. Where you've been, Anthony? I've not seen you live stream in a while. Yeah, it's been a minute. I've been busy with different things. There's a point where I've been doing a couple films. I was the lead role in a short film that I was working on with people, and I've had other stuff going on. Obviously, I was at Wimbledon doing that. So I've just been busy. I've been doing the podcasts, but yeah, now I'm back doing the live streams. I'm happy to be back. It's just been a busy kind of period. Especially with the tournaments I've been able to go to. Amazingly well done by Boca, 100%. Wild card number 85 in the rankings to her first title of 1,000. Incredible. It's ridiculous. She is amazing. Yeah, her and Menzik, first title in 1,000. It's incredible. Two players I guess I've had my eye on from the start, but in Boca I've only really started following at Wimbledon, so I can't say I was the first to see her, but Shelton with the 15-30. Forehand. Khachanov to the backhand of Shelton. Forehand of Khachanov inside out. Forehand of Shelton down the line. What a shot. Forehand. Khachanov defending. Good deep lob, to be fair. Squash shot. It's going to be in two. Forehand. Shelton. Khachanov running too early to the other side, but I guess he needs to go one way or another. Not necessarily the best defender on tour when he's way out of position. 15-40 for Shelton. Demoralizing first set for Khachanov if Shelton's able to pull this out with two consecutive breaks, and a hell of a good thing for Shelton, whose level has just been extremely high this week. Backhand in the net from Shelton. Good serve. 30-40. One more to save for Khachanov. Still doable. Still on serve. If he holds here, it's a tiebreaker. He's got one more set point, does Ben. Serve. Down the tee. Backhand. Shelton. Up high. Forehand. Khachanov. Oh, Shelton with the forehand. Nearly got it. That's going to be wide. Khachanov gets the deuce. Backhand cross court. Forehand of Khachanov. Forehand of Shelton. Forehand of Khachanov inside out. Forehand of Shelton down the line. What a shot. Forehand down the line is picked up. And it's not when he's on that, running forehand, but just feet planted. He is rocking it. Third set point for Ben Shelton. Khachanov, it felt like just 5 minutes ago, serving for the set. Shelton said not so fast. Khachanov. First serve, misses it. This is danger time for the Russian. Khachanov with the second serve. Forehand, Shelton, down the middle. Forehand of Khachanov, backhand. Now Shelton, forehand of Khachanov, backhand slice. Feels like the makings of another long rally. Backhand slice, Shelton. Cross court to the forehand of Khachanov, backhand. Shelton, down the line to the backhand of Khachanov, back to the backhand of Shelton. Forehand, Khachanov, forehand of Shelton, forehand now. Down the line, going a little bit bigger. He lets off, and it floats wide off his racket. Khachanov is an awkward opponent for anybody, and he's making things awkward. Deuce. Saves 3 set points. He says, I still want this first set. Cal with a shot. Yeah. It's heating up. 5.5 minute game. Just because that rally was like 5.5 minutes long. Forehand goes to the backhand of Shelton. Volley, put away. Advantage to KHACHANOV for the first time in this game to make it a tiebreaker. A very interesting tiebreaker at that. Does anybody know who that is in the crowd? Who they just pan to? Gotta be a celebrity of some kind. Might be a footballer. I don't know who that is exactly. Big serve just misses the mark from KHACHANOV. Second serve. Backhand Shelton down the middle. Forehand of KHACHANOV. Backhand Shelton. Down the lines in the net. 6-6. Let me know who you think's going to win this tiebreaker and what's going to be the score. I'm going KHACHANOV now. I'm going KHACHANOV 8-6. No, 7-5. I'm going. Well, okay. Now if it's 8-6, I'll be upset. I'll say KHACHANOV 8-6. Let me like if I say 8-6 and I change my mind and then it is 8-6, like that is like the worst moment. So I'm gonna say 8-6 KHACHANOV. Let me know your prediction. Let me know what you guys think this tiebreaker score is going to be. Whoever gets the closest, I'll shout you out. 8-6 to KHACHANOV. It's my prediction. It's been unpredictable first set, up and down. Been treated to a roller coaster ride rather than a tennis match. Servant volley, Shelton, drop volley. KHACHANOV runs in. He puts it away because he knew that was the opportunity on a Shelton serve to get a mini break. 1-0. Shelton 7-4. All right. Let's see, Mike. 1-0 for KHACHANOV. Early blood for Kareen. Got skin in the game. He now has the lead. Serve down the tee. Backhand slice. Shelton. Forehand. Inside out. Forehand of Shelton. Up high. Again to the forehand of Kareen. Backhand. Shelton. Backhand of Kareen. Just over the net. Backhand of Kareen. Down the middle. Backhand slice. Shelton. Forehand of Kareen. To the backhand slice of Shelton yet again. Backhand slice. Shelton. Backhand. Ooh, that's in the net. It's a mini break back. 2 mini breaks traded to start the breaker. 1-1. Shelton wasn't able to break Kareen's spirits, but he has been able to get the break back in this tiebreaker. 1-1. We are at even, and who takes this set is very uncertain. But you would think it's a very important set. Oh, Shelton with a very good deep return. Forehand down the line. Doesn't need to go for that. Yet again, it's not the right shot. I don't see that being the right shot. Finds his way into the rally. He actually has a very good play on it and anticipates that shot. I mean, I know he's out of position, but I reckon that just makes any shot other than that he has a better chance. In my book. 1-2. Shelton's serve. Shelton's return game, as good as I've ever seen it in this tournament. I will say that. As good as I've ever seen it. Second serve for Shelton. Neither guy making first serves in this set. Backhand, forehand of Shelton. Forehand, inside out, backhand. Shelton down the line. The backhand of KHACHANOV. Backhand slice. Shelton. Backhand of KHACHANOV. Cross court. Forehand of Shelton. Great deep shot. Very good retrieval by KHACHANOV. High level rally. Forehand. Backhand slice. Kareen defending. Back to neutral somehow. Backhand slice. Long rally. That's in the net. KHACHANOV just wearing him out. Breaking him down. Good deep retrievals. That's what I'm saying. Hatchoff's not flashy, but man, is he good. 3-1. It's an important set because, I mean, you can imagine it. You'll have to win 2 sets, consecutive sets against the other guy if you want to win the match after the first set. And it doesn't feel like the gap is that wide between these two. Like, I can imagine whoever doesn't win this first set winning the second set, but then the guy who won the first set can win the third one. Like, it doesn't seem like one guy is going to be that dominant to win 2 straight sets. It could happen for sure, but it's a very important first set. Just in terms of you like the guy's chances, whoever wins his first set. Not definitely will win, but you like their chances. It's an important set. It's not a make or break, but it's important. Task is very tough, you would think, to win two consecutive sets for either of these guys after losing this first one. And both guys have had their opportunities. Khachanov serving for the set. Shelton's had set points. Bit of a heartbreaker either way, really. Forehand, big inside out. What a strike. 3 points apiece. I think Khachanov a little bit upset that Shelton just making that, but gotta just move on, man, because that was an impressive shot. Khachanov kind of not doing enough with that backhand shot lifted right up. And Shelton has the confidence. He's got the gusto to go after shots like that. Impressive, Ben. I agree. Shelton 15 winners to 10 from Khachanov. It's good for Khachanov, to be fair. Not that big of a gap. Shelton's always going to have more unforced errors, you'd think. I would think. 3 points apiece. Shelton. Forehand return. Forehand of Khachanov with forehand. Oh, it's a big shot from Shelton. Just the amount of pace on it. Khachanov couldn't handle it. 4-3. Khachanov's going to want that back because he's got to. If you're Khachanov, you got to just prepare, man. You have so much time. You just got to tell yourself, okay, Shelton's going to absolutely whack the hell out of this. You gotta just make the next ball. Shelton's out of position, but he's just gonna go for it, and that's exactly what he did. Khachanov couldn't control the amount of pace. Shelton playing really well. Serve out wide, back and Khachanov's in the net, 5-3, and maybe Shelton playing too well for Khachanov. We'll see. Good turnaround this breaker after Khachanov wins that first point. 5-3. Mboko, the champion for the ladies. Both guys fighting to be the champion here. It's a big match in both these guys' careers. That's don't even have to say it. Forehand, Khachanov forehand. If Shelton goes big again, Khachanov defending. Impressive shot. Is weird drop shot from Shelton. Khachanov's there. Forehand slice down the line. Weird point from Shelton. I don't know. I don't know what I think about that. I think he's a little bit too eager now to play those drop shots. I guess seems like it was part of the game plan. Make Khachanov move forward, vertical movement. Maybe even test him at the net. So I think it was part of the game plan. But I don't know if it was the right shot just then. Karain doing really well to control the pace of shot. I mean, I think over half of the points of this breaker have been mini breaks. 4-5 for Khachanov. Bit of a nervy first set. That's kind of what you get when you get two guys like this who have, between them, only played 2 Masters finals before this, and both of those were actually only one. I don't know what I'm saying. Only one. Khachanov playing that in 2018. So both guys new to the moment within the last 4 or 5 years. Forehand, Khachanov goes cross court. Shelton somehow regroups after almost falling on the ground there. Forehand, big inside out. Shelton again regrouping. This is ridiculous. Forehand down the line. Shelton corner to corner. Ridiculous defense. Backhand down the line. Shelton backhand slice the lob. Smash put away. Khachanov, that if you're gonna define the match in 1 point, that is the point to watch. Because Shelton playing some amazing shots and defense, but Khachanov, no matter what Shelton's throwing at him, he's just too solid. He's not getting the applause because he hits some crazy shots. He's getting the applause because he wins the point. Whether he wins the match is unclear, but what very much could happen is Shelton has all the top 10 best shots of the match, and Khachanov has the trophy. Still can't make first serves. That's going to be the biggest regret for Khachanov, potentially, of the set. Or for both guys, really. Forehand, down the middle. Forehand of Shelton, big. Forehand of Khachanov, big point, 5-5. Back in, cross court. Just makes it. Big forehand down the line from Shelton. Khachanov somehow absorbing the pace brilliantly. Big forehand, Khachanov going after it. Another big forehand. Goes after it. 6-5 for Khachanov. He's got a set point. Ben at 3. Khachanov has his first, if I'm not mistaken. 6-5. I thought they cut to Liam Neeson. It's a guy in the crowd who looks almost exactly like Liam Neeson. We got it all going on. How many matches have they played? They've played once. It was in Indian Wells earlier this year. And Shelton won in straight sets. 6-5 to Khachanov. Thrilling first set, honestly. Unpredictable at every turn. Shelton was up 5-3. Serve. Out wide. Khachanov. Backhand. Return. Forehand of Shelton. Down the line. Forehand of Khachanov. Backhand of Shelton. Forehand of Khachanov goes big down the line. He's taking more of the risks now. Forehand. Cross court. Forehand volley. That's put away. Khachanov wins a thriller of a first set. 3-set point save. Ridiculous from Korean. What you got to say about that? What are they going to say now? 7-6 Khachanov first set. Match not over, but hell of an effort. Hell of an effort from Shelton. He'll get confidence from the way he fought as well, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, having those 3-set points come and go, he's going to have to win 2 consecutive sets against this guy. It's going to be tough, but I think he can do it. But it's going to be tough. He's got to improve a few things. Come on, Korean. How are you doing, Jane? Good to see you. Oh, yeah. Both guys just serving 55% first serves in, but Shelton, yeah, he's going to want to make more than that because look at the gap, right? For Karin, gap is the same for one reason and one reason only. Because Shelton's return of serve is not what Karin's is, right? And Shelton's serve is outrageous. His first serve. These numbers are very similar. For Shelton's much more important. He makes more than 55% first serves in. For Korean, even if he makes second serve, Shelton isn't the player that's going to just play super solid with the returns and completely take advantage of that. As you can see, he only won 7 points on Korean's second serve. But yeah, this is the second biggest stat, and this is the biggest stat. Shelton needs to make more first serves. And this is solid for Kareem. These are good numbers compared to this. Like these are good numbers for he had just 2 less errors than Shelton did. Those are good numbers for him. Really good numbers for him. Kareem's playing well. Whoa, it's a fun one, Toronto. I'm glad I did this one. Can Khachanov win his second Masters 1000 title and his first one on outdoor hard courts? Serve, Khachanov out wide, back in. Shelton, forehand of Khachanov, forehand of Shelton, up high. Khachanov with smash. Other way, 15 love. It's honestly so funny to me because I saw so many people being like, Shelton's gonna win in straight sets. Like, bruh, it's people who just don't know tennis, dude. Not. I mean, Shelton could have won in straight sets, but I'm just saying, like, people are like, Shelton Khachanov doesn't deserve to be here. People don't know tennis, dude. Yeah, because it's the always concurrent thing of people can respect a player, but they will always respect a player if you have two players that a person just a casual fan of tennis or just somebody who doesn't even watch tennis. Not saying about the diehards. The diehards usually get it right. So there's a bit generalizing, but people just watch tennis casually. If you have two players of equal quality who they respect about the same, the person their quality of play the same. The person who plays flashier is always ridiculous rally at the net. Khachanov wins it 40 love. The person who plays flashier is always going to get the more respect. Period. It's always going to get the more respect. And I love the flashy players, but I'm also understand that that's not, it's not. Tennis isn't won by flash. It can be won by flashy players, but it certainly is not won by flash. So that people don't respect Khachanov because he's not flashy, and he's not. I'm not gonna lie to you and say he's flashy. Khachanov was injured. No one remembers back-to-back slam semis. That's Khachanov quietly achieving 4 straight quarters at slams, I believe, too. At least 3 straight. I think 4. At least 3. Backhand goes to the forehand of Shelton. Backhand of Khachanov. Forehand of Shelton. Another drop shot. Khachanov turning the table. His backhand slice. Ooh, just out from Shelton. Close. 1-0 to Khachanov. Karina's very mellow. Yeah. He just goes about his biz, dude. He goes about his business. Yeah, Khachanov 3 straight quarterfinals, and obviously 2020 he could have been 4 straight. Potentially 2022 Wimbledon he wasn't allowed also it could have been like 5 straight, but on either side of them there's Wimbledon where he got injured when he just got to top 10 in the world. I thought was playing the best tennis of his career. Made the Miami semis that year, took a set off Medvedev. He was playing really well. Almost took a set off Alcaraz on clay. I thought he was playing really well, and wasn't able to play there. Also Wimbledon the year before that when he made the quarters back in 2021 Wimbledon. It's actually quite good on grass, Karin. I was able to watch him play in person at Wimbledon as well. But yeah, playing 2021, 2022, if he had played it, it could have been 4 straight. But anyway, at least 3 straight quarterfinals and 2 back-to-back semis. So he's an underrated player, man. So I guess Shelton will have to do it in 3 like we agreed, Anthony. Yeah. We'll see, man. As we know very well, things in tennis can change quite quick. But it's looking good for Khachanov, I'm not going to lie. But we'll see what Shelton can do. Yeah, we had Shelton in 3. We'll see. Egg serve out wide from Shelton, 40 love. I think Shelton's going to get confidence. I think the end of that set, I might have a lot of people disagree with me, but I think the end of that set was more positive than negative for Shelton. I think I don't remember a single set point where he really had a huge play on the ball. And I think that just the fact that he was able to find his way back from 5-4 down when Karin was serving, I think at the end of the day, he'll get more positives from that than he did negatives the end of that set, in my opinion. So I think Shelton still mentally is going to be very much in this match. We'll see. I think the worst is when you have set points and you know that you should have won one of them. But at least from the top of my head, I can't remember a set point where it really felt like you should have won one of those points very clearly or anything. Forehand, Shelton comes in, lob from Karin's, nothing lob. Karin's still there, another lob. It's gonna be out. 1 game piece. First set did become less of a serve bot battle though as it went on, though, I will say, because both guys were just not really making first serves in. So we actually got quite a bit of rallies in, and they were quite good. A lot of the rallies were quite impressive from both sides. So in my books, it was a decent level first set. I enjoyed it. Definitely the up and down nature of it. I enjoyed it. Shelton, some really impressive shots, some forehand down the lines at the end, but Kareen definitely felt like deserved that first set. He played really well and fought really well throughout. Also, Shelton up 5-3 in the tiebreaker as well. I think I got to say, by the way, that I was the closest with the scoring the tiebreaker. I guess Mike, shout out to you because you're the only one who's at a score score for the tiebreaker. Only prediction. But yeah, I said 8-6. And then I was gonna say 7-5 and I changed it. It actually backfired, but anyway. 30 left for Khachanov. She gets a forehand winner down the line. I thought Zverev was going to win, but I like Kareen too. Yeah, I thought Zverev was going to win the tournament before tournament started. I can't say I was, completely shocked that he didn't, but I mean, he hasn't won has he won title all year? I think he won one. It was like a 250 or something, maybe in Munich. Sounds right. Forehand big, backhand of Shelton, defending. Good shot. Better forehand from Khachanov, 40 love. Khachanov playing excellent tennis. Both guys playing excellent tennis, to be honest, in this tournament. And they're two guys that have had success at the U.S. Open. We'll see. We'll see if these two are in the latter stages of that tournament. It's definitely, I could imagine neither of those guys even, let's say, making the semis. That's very conceivable, but it will be interesting. Popper won this tournament. He definitely made splashes at the Open last year. 2-1 for Khachanov as Shelton floats a lob long. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. If you are new, if you haven't subscribed, Quality Shot Tennis, what are you doing? More live streams, more stuff on the way, podcasts. I'll try to do a early New Tennis Era podcast. Usually I upload those on Mondays, but maybe I can try to get one done earlier talking about this match. We'll see what I can do. Man, what a win for Vicky and Boko. Seriously, impressive. Because listen, it's that thing of, it reminds me of Andreescu when she came out of nowhere. And I thought she was going to win multiple slams. So let's not jinx Boko because you never know. Let's hope she doesn't have the injury problems Andreescu's had. She's had the worst of it. All right, Shelton serving here at 1-2. Serve on tee. It's going to go wide. Second serve for the American. Trying to get it done in Canada. Khachanov looking for a second. Shelton looking for his first Masters 1000 title. Right before Cincinnati. You got to say, I mean, Fritz and Zverev are tough opponents. Both these guys taking out Fritz, taking out Zverev, and then potentially taking out the guy that beat Fritz, the guy that beats Zverev. So it's it's not a nothing. It's properly a Masters 1000 tournament. Make that clear. If Alcaraz winning the 2022 U.S. Open when like none of the real top guys were there, I don't think like Djokovic Federer were there. Um, Nadal was there, but he wasn't anywhere near to his best. Like, if we're not asterisking that, which we're not, like this shouldn't be asterisked either. But it does seem like a good period of time to me to win a Masters 1000. I will say that, but it is still a Masters 1000. Backhand. Forehand of Hatchnoff just lands inside the baseline. Backhand now. Hatchnoff up high to the forehand of Shelton. Forehand. Hatchnoff defending. That's a good get. Forehand. Shelton the other way. Hatchnoff with a lob. Another good get right on the baseline. Hatchnoff could find a way to win this point out of nowhere. Backhand cross court to the forehand of Hatchnoff. Backhand goes big. He's got to be tired. He wants to finish this point off. Backhand inside out. Shelton defending now. Smash. The other way. What a point by Hatchanoff. Impressive stuff. Apologizes because I don't know if the smash was mishit, but I think it's because the couple shots he hit up right on the baseline. But fantastic. Also, Shelton's forehand was definitely not exactly how he meant to strike it, but amazing point from Karin. To me, his most impressive point in the match so far. Some great scrambling. Suddenly it's 30 all on Shelton's serve. Big serve. Out wide, Karin. What a return. Neutralized that amazingly. Forehand. Shelton. The forehand of Karin. Forehand of Shelton. Down the line. Backhand of Karin. Forehand of Shelton. Kind of gives Karin a chance. Oh! He was so close with that down the line. That would have been the best shot of his career. Missed it just out. Shelton gave him a look, but not a bad play. 40-30. How many shots was that? It was 20 in the previous rally. Exactly 20. Second serve to work with. Karin's still in this game. This kind of an opportunity, second serve 40-30. Doesn't come that often playing Shelton. It's let for second serve. Shelton does have a strap on that, on his knee, by the way. But he is moving okay. That's going to be out from Khachanov. 2 games apiece. And Shelton turned this match around. It is interesting, the 2 out of 3 format versus the best of 5, because if you're playing best of 5, it doesn't really feel like Khachanov is that much, in the lead of just one set. I still think the best of 5 format is the best thing in tennis and is always needed. But it is good to have both on the tour. Both are needed. Backhand of Khachanov. I definitely hope the fact that the thing that would take the best of 5s away, in my opinion, more than anything, which would be the worst thing I can imagine to happen in sports, would be like the idea that people's attention deficits are just not good enough these days, and that's a stupid reason to do anything. If you want to make quality things, make quality things. What people are, what they absorb or not is not a thing to decide it. But people are always going to make decisions based off money, and that's their right. I hope that never happens. Taking away best of 5, always needed in tennis. Shelton showing clear frustration, throws his racket. It's 15 all. Hey, how are you doing, Joe? Good to see you. Yeah, doing pretty well. I'll be at Winston-Salem later this month, so preparing for that as well. Quality Shot Tennis got accepted to do media, so hopefully more interviews on the way. If everything's okay, we'll see what happens, but should be a fun trip. Shelton upset about something, giving Karina first serve because he took so much time between first and second. Not sure exactly what it was about. There's a big argument here because the it seems like the line machine did not call the ball out. The umpire is overruling it. Sheldon telling Curry and Hatchnoff it was clearly out. And the umpire agrees with him. Kareem didn't think it was clearly out, but obviously heat of the moment. The umpire is trying to figure out exactly what's going on because there was no out call audio, but the umpire says his machine said that there was a red light and it said out. The audio just is not working from the machine. And that's what Shelton was upset about before because there's a ball way out. The umpire explained that it was just too far long. That's why I didn't call it. So I'm assuming I think Shelton started to think that the umpire was just BSing him before, saying that because it was too long, it didn't call it because then Kareem just hit a serve that was way out and it didn't call it again. But now the umpire's trying to figure out the issue. It seems to me we're gonna Kareem's gonna get another first serve for the third time for a different reason, and we're gonna replay the point. But this is kind of hilarious. How does Ben's live ATP ranking look for today? If I remember correctly, I don't know if he could climb up the rankings. Actually, I think he could pass Djokovic for number 6, which would be a career high ranking. Yeah, if he wins the tournament, he's number 6 in the world. He would be like 300 points behind Draper for a top 5 spot. Which, I mean, he can gain points in Cincinnati, and Draper's not gaining any points in Cincy. I don't really remember how many points Draper's defending in Cincy. He maybe made a quarterfinal last year. That sounds familiar, but Shelton definitely could be top 5 going into the U.S. Open. Umpire's going to, there's no sound from the machine. Umpire's just going to go with the lights that are being portrayed on a screen that say in or out. So this is just a classic way of doing it. There's no line judges, but there is the umpire. This is why I still reckon when the technology malfunctions, just bring like line judges out on court that are like kind of waiting in the back. I guess they need to pay them though, because you're kind of wasting their time because most of the time they aren't going to come out. So it is a bit difficult. I don't know. Both players are upset about this call from the umpire. Sheldon says another first serve. Why not? It's Christmas. Umpire says up to you. I agree with Ben though. Obviously, Kareem deserves another first serve. Umpire says it would be a second serve, but that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Good sportsmanship from Ben. Likable gesture there, but that is kind of a crazy call in my book. Why would that be a second serve? Um, I mean, I guess he did really miss the first serve, but it seems kind of ridiculous. Good sportsmanship though from Ben, I will say. Now the umpire kind of put him on the spot there, saying if you want to give him a first serve, it would have looked bad if he didn't. I don't know. I certain parts of the umpiring made no sense to me there, to be honest. But forehand slice, Ben. Backhand. Good sportsmanship, especially because Ben is down in the match right now, too. 30-15 for Khachanov. I think the line calling now, the audio has come back as well, the umpire said. This is kind of ridiculous. Anthony, can you ask them what is up with their trophy at Winston-Salem? Fair enough. Karine, yeah. Lots of good idea, yeah. Lots of late out calls this tournament. Yes, I've noticed that too. Come on, Ben, you can do this. A lot of more conversations with the umpire, yeah. What is the Winston-Salem trophy? I don't remember. Yeah, that was a mind-boggling situation. Yeah, what is this weird spike trophy? Feels like it's dangerous to hold. Or like last year, it looks like they had a different one. I don't know. So it seems like they used to have a spike trophy, and now they have this different weird like glass trophy. I don't know. I think sometimes just having like the regular like just like yellow like cup trophy. Sometimes I like some of the more artsy ones, but we don't. Not every tournament has to have one of those, in my opinion. Backhand of Shelton, long rally on the Khachanov serve, backhand slice. Shelton, forehand of Khachanov. Backhand of Shelton, forehand of Khachanov again. Backhand of Shelton, big. Forehand of Khachanov, forehand of Shelton. It's big, inside out, drop shot. Shelton. Oh, what a drop shot. What a play from Khachanov. What a play. 3-2. I didn't think he was going to have the wheels. I'd be surprised if there's no talk from Shelton to the ump at this changeover. I don't blame him. I didn't ghost. Good to see you. Yeah, good match so far, to be honest. I've enjoyed it. Weird situation happening now with the with line calling technology messing up. But it seems like that's over with anyway, which is good. Khachanov is 3 games away from his second Masters title. It'd be his first in quite some time. How many multi Masters champions are there on the tour? So I can think of a lot of Master champions, but a lot are not multi Masters champions. In fact, like Marin Cilic, did he win more than one Masters title? I think he only won one. Even Wawrinka, I think, only won one, which is hilarious. So it's not really a. You would say Wawrinka is a better player than Hurkacz if you're right in the head, but Hurkacz has 2 Masters and Wawrinka has 1. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Forehand slice to forehand of Shelton, very central. It's a half volley into the net. Forehand block into the net. Still feels like Shelton can come back in this match to me. It's not over. Not by a long shot, but he'll want to hold here. No doubt. Big serve down the tee. Forehand, drop shot. Khachanov comes in. Too much pace of shot. Drop shot's not good enough. Shelton's too far behind the baseline, giving Khachanov too much time to run forward. I don't mind the play in terms of strategy to implement the drop shots. Obviously, one of the strategies before the match has begun, but too much error on the ball. Khachanov can get the pace on the shot. That's just going to make it very difficult. And he's not going to go for too much either. Just, I don't know. Shelton needs to be a little bit more confident and aware kind of when he's playing the drop shot that it can't kind of bite him in the foot. Wow. Forehand winners, Khachanov 16, Shelton 8. That's why the coach just yelled to Shelton, why Brian Shelton just yelled to Ben to be dictating, which I agree with. Not that Khachanovr's making it particularly easy. Serve and volley. Oh, hell of a volley from Shelton. 40-30. Are these the moments that are going to be important for Shelton if he manages to turn this around? Hell of a feel at the net from Shelton, just barely crawling over the net. The ball got to be millimeters above the net. Shelton misses the first serve by quite a bit. Second serve now. Backhand, Khachanov up high. Forehand, Shelton. Back to the backhand of Khachanov. Backhand, Shelton. Forehand of Kareen, backhand. Backhand of Kareen, backhand, Shelton. Forehand of Shelton, that's in the net. Deuce now. Still could be moments of danger. Remember, Shelton is new to this moment. He hadn't even made it to a semifinal of a Masters, so is that part of it here? Is he learning a lesson about longevity in a tournament? What it takes to win one of these big tournaments? Playing well all the way through. Where are we missing? Hitting the like button, 28 watching, 17 like. Yeah, guys, don't forget to like the stream as well if you are watching. Appreciate that, Joe. Boko beat 4 slam winners on her way to the Canada title, old 19 years old. Only 18, I think. She's got like 3 months till she's 19, I think. Hope this match go 3 sets, yeah. 100%. 100,000%. They are playing a lot of longer rallies. They just showed a stat there. Let me see it again. About long rallies. Points. Yeah, points won over 9 shots. Definitely being dominated by Khachanov, but it's not really the way Shelton just needs to make sure that less of those rallies happen. 3 games apiece here. Shelton able to hold. Brian Shelton telling Ben Shelton, be ready to step up in the court and move to net. Not necessarily, serving and volleying, but just being ready to come to net. Having the willingness to come forward when opportunity presents itself. Taking a bit of a risk too. I guess not recklessly coming to net, but frustration from Shelton building. Khachanov never gives you anything easy. He makes you earn it, and it doesn't look like Shelton is at the level that he was at against de Minaur and Fritz, to be honest. Maybe a little bit tired. He also played in Washington, remember, so he's played a lot of tennis. Maybe a little bit mentally aware. He misses that backhand by a mile. Starting to think it could be Khachanov in straight sets. If I was to make a prediction now, it would be that. I said Shelton in 3. Let's see. I'm kind of giving up on Ben. But let's see. Never know. Gosh, what Ben was playing on fire playing Fritz, he is tired. I agree. I'd like that we got to hear Brian Shelton's coaching. It makes it more interesting. I always thought with the WTA, I'm not a huge fan of the coaching, but it is interesting if there's going to be coaching to be able to hear all of it. It's a good, it's good from the fan perspective. That's a great forehand down the line from Khachanov. When mentally Khachanov's locked in, he's a great, dangerous player. Amazing tennis player. Korean Khachanov. Yeah, multi-masters champions on tour. I would like to see a list. I guess I could try to think of it off the top of my head. It would be difficult though. Certainly, I mean Hurkacz, Medvedev, Zverev, Djokovic. Forehand misses it just wide. Rublev 4-3. Sinner, Alcaraz. If I didn't say either of them. Who else? I'm just gonna look at the rankings. But yeah, Cilic and Wawrinka I don't think are multi-master champions. Fritz is not. Draper is not. Demon or Runa are not. Musetti hasn't won one yet. Same with Demon. Tiafoe hasn't won one. Casper's only won one. That might be it. All the ones that I named, that might be it. Poprin's only won one. Tsitsipas won multiple Monte Carlos. Can't forget about Tsitsipas. Stefanos. Nori's only won one. Monfils hasn't won one, which is incredible. Nishikori has not won one, which is even more incredible. I think that's it. Carreño Busta's won one. Coric has won one. Green can get a little nervy serving it out. Yeah, 100%. He hasn't broken Shelton serve yet either, but he's looking good. Second serve from Shelton. Not making enough first serves today by a long shot. Backhand. Khachanov. Deep in the court. Forehand. Big shot. Is this the turning point for Ben? He needs one quick before he can't even have an opportunity to make a turning point anymore. He needs to hold and then find a break. You know, there hasn't been a moment where he's like been serving for a match, serving for a match. That hasn't happened for him for sure. Serving for a set. He had set points. He was up 5-3. He didn't really have that kind of a moment. But it would be a big moment for him if he can just like hold, break, just find a momentum switch, solid momentum switch. Where it's undeniable. Forehand, inside out, forehand of Khachanov, forehand of Shelton, back in. Khachanov, forehand of Shelton again, inside out. Forehand of Khachanov, up high. Shelton absolutely decimating the forehand. Huge forehands. That's going to be just out from Shelton in the corner. 30. By the way, that rule that the umpire said, if that's the rule, they got to change that. What they said about the guy only gets a second serve if you have a 5-minute delay between first and second serves. What a crazy rule. Makes no sense to me. If the technology messes up, you're supposed to have a worse chance on your second serve. It makes no sense. Backhand smash, backhand Shelton, big cross court, 30 all. I'm just thinking about that rule, and that is the craziest thing ever. If that is a rule, that's embarrassing for tennis, in my opinion. Great lob to set up that pass. Khachanov should have moved back quicker. It seemed a little bit indecisive whether he was going to stay at the net or move back. But it was the lob from Shelton that won him the point ultimately. Backhand, Khachanov. Forehand of Shelton. Backhand of Khachanov. Forehand slice. Shelton. Backhand of Khachanov down the line. Backhand of Shelton. Khachanov defending. That's in the net. 40-30. Shelton digging deep. Fighting big. He can still come back. I get the feeling he can still come back. Let's see. Ruling, absolutely. Could be to keep his hair back. Not sure Kareem's ball cap makes sense. Is that superstitious thing? Don't know. Combo of deep forehand slice and then slap backhand was smart from Benny. Yeah, he's been playing some of the smartest tennis I've seen from Ben. Big hold from Shelton. 15-30 down, just missing a forehand in the corner. Still going after his shots. We'll see if he can, start making more of them and with more oomph, let's say, behind them. Like I said, like Kareem earlier just had like double the amount of forehand winners that Shelton's had apparently, which is extremely surprising. But that's kind of why we're at where we're at. Khachanov still 2 games away. Another very close set between these two. Who's going to take the title home in Toronto? Serve. Khachanov down the tee. Forehand chip. Shelton. Forehand of Khachanov. Cross court. Back to Shelton. Backhand of Khachanov. Forehand now. Khachanov. Back to the backhand of Shelton. Cross court. Forehand of Khachanov. Backhand slice. Shelton. Long rally here again. Forehand. Cross court. Backhand slice. Shelton. Backhand of Khachanov. Forehand of Shelton. Cross court. One of the longest rallies of the match. And Khachanov misses the backhand down the line wide. Crowd urging on Shelton to do something here. They want to see a longer match. And if the first 2 sets have been such a tight tussle, you imagine the third set could be just as tight. They've played 19 points over 9 shots, and Shelton has only won 5 of them. And it does feel that way. Shelton misses the return. He looks tired to me. Kind of looks like how Demonor looked against him in the quarters after he took home the title in Washington. It's playing Washington, then playing. This is 3rd week in a row playing. Like, it's a 2-week Masters. It takes a lot out of you. So I really reckon he is more tired than Kareem. Kareem, I think this is his first tournament since Wimbledon. So that might be the difference here. It's unfortunate. It makes people want to play a tournament as great as Washington less coming into the 2-week Masters. Backhand down the line. Shelton with a big winner down the line. Just grabs the outside the line. 15-30. Splat on the line. He hit that nice, huge shot. Was that line? Yes. Huge shot. When he needed it. What a moment. He misses that an inch the other way, and a very different moment. Big serve from Kareem. Down the tee, forehand. Inside out, forehand of Shelton. Forehand of Khachanov. Down the line, great shot cross court from Shelton. It's going to be just out behind the baseline from Kareem, 15-40. Shelton starting to play more of his game. I said it wasn't over. Still doable for Shelton, especially because Kareem can sometimes get a little bit nervy towards the finish line, and this is one of the biggest moments of his career. 15-40. 2 break points. Backhand, Shelton for a turn. Forehand down the line. Forehand of Kareem. Big forehand down the line from Shelton. What was I just talking about? That's what Shelton needed. That kind of a turning point. Now he's going to serve for the set. Kareem shaking his head. I think he's upset that Shelton's getting a lot of the baselines and Kareem's missing them. But it's Shelton who's going to serve for the second set. And we might go 3 here. Things change quick in the sport. Elmer Mueller is also Danish. He's on the come up. I really enjoy watching him play. I'm gonna be totally honest. I've barely ever watched I've watched him play like 5 points. I need to watch more of him. I don't have any opinions on him. But I'll check him out. One of his matches. Yeah, great forehand strike from Ben that just catching the line, making a couple of baselines there. Shelton stayed calm. I'll give him that. He stayed positive. He stayed calm. He's done a good job mentally of really staying in this match. They've had some longer points. Kareem's made him awfully uncomfortable, but he's still in a position to tie this match up. Had 3 set points, couldn't convert in the first set. Masters 1000 champion mentality. And Kareem's playing well enough. He could do it too, but I'm kind of liking that Shelton in 3. It would be a hell of an effort if he can do it for either guy. But for Shelton particularly, I feel like. Kareem was already tasting the W. He had 3-4, 15-30. Those next few points were potentially a turning point in this entire match. By the way, guys, don't forget to subscribe Quality Shot Tennis if you haven't already, and check out the weekly New Tennis Era podcast that I do on this channel. Don't forget to like the stream as well if you're enjoying it. Appreciate you guys checking it out. It's a forehand long from Shelton, still going after his shots. Left 15. I will still reiterate, though, Shelton does look tired to me. It's not to say, I mean, you can definitely win when you're tired, but we'll see if he can find a way through. It's not going to be easy. Long road ahead of him. I mean, Shelton hits the worst drop shot of the year. Bounces back on his side, doesn't even get to the net. Left 30. He seems very desperate to keep employing that tactic, and I don't mind the tactic. I don't like the moments when he's using it. That was really the worst drop shot of the year. That drop shot didn't even make the net. How you doing, Maxidar? I'm doing good. Thanks for joining in, man. Forehand, Hatchnoff. Forehand to Shelton. Back and Hatchnoff for a pass. Great shot. Love 40. Hatchnoff finding his way back. Great movement from Kareem to get to it and hit a solid shot. 3 break points for Kareem. Game's not over. Shelton can still hold from here, but great opportunity for Kareem to tie this back up. 15-40. Good reaction for Ben as well there. Rich looked tired playing Ben. I just think Ben was too good, to be honest. There Ben was insanely good. I do agree Fritz wasn't at his best. He looked a little tired, but I think Shelton played lights out there. Big forehand from Shelton, 30-40. One more to save. One more to save. Looking for a big first serve. 218 kilometers an hour serve to set up a big forehand. Third break point for Kareem. Big one. Big serve out wide, back in. Blocked. Forehand. Shelton right back to Kareem. Volley has got to be put away. Surely it is. Potentially Kareem should have went down the line, but it was probably not going to work anyway. 2 points away, Shelton. Serve. Shelton. Hits it long. Another huge point, no doubt. Double fault. I think it's his first of the match. I don't remember a Shelton double fault. Maybe a first or second. He hasn't hit a whole lot of double faults, which is impressive, to be fair. He has a lot of kick second serves, so the kick second serve is usually there's a level of safety to it. Big serve blocked. Great serve. Too good from Shelton. Because all the time with the kick, you kind of sacrifice, depth with depth or pace, but you can still hold a lot of pace, but the ball kind of drops down into the court. But you usually don't get a whole lot of double faults if you hit them well. Great high percentage first serve. Advantage to Shelton. He's got his first set point of the match, I guess. From love 40 down. Third set would be really interesting, to be honest, especially the way how tight the first two sets have been. Forehand down the line. Forehand of Khachanov. Point of Shelton. Down the line. Lob from Khachanov. How does he get that back? Ridiculous defense, honestly. Ooh, awkward forehand from Shelton. It's going to be a drop shot. Khachanov runs. Forehand goes behind him. Khachanov in the net. Ridiculous set point. And a roar from the American. Khachanov somehow almost stealing that point. But Shelton, the smarts have gone him through most of the week. Playing some of his smartest tennis, going behind Khachanov. Most people have gone line. He goes cross. Third set in Toronto between two players who are in very different moments of their career. 22-year-old versus the 29-year-old. Shelton looking for his first Masters. Kareem, of course, looking for a second. Going three. Shelton fighting back. This match is going through 3 sets. Let's go. Yesterday, I said it would be Shelton in 2 against Fritz, and I was right. Today, I said it would be Shelton in 3. Let's see. But one set to play. All right, I'll be back, guys. Do not go anywhere. I'll be right back for the third set. All right, third set on the way. Yeah, that's a good question, Joe. Southern California, nice. Nevada. Love it. Interesting. Khachanov has won 11 of 13 net points. It is interesting. What? Yeah, I'll look at the stats after this. Too good of a forehand from Khachanov. Great final. Transpiring. It's already been pretty thrilling. Happy that I've watched this one. Khachanov serve out wide. Too good. Big. 30 love. Backhand, big backhand from Shelton down the line. 30-15. You know, you only get how many? 13 finals like this in a year. So every time it happens, it's a bit of a cool moment. I guess with the ATP finals, it's kind of 14. I was thinking slams and masters. Anyway, 14 finals in a year. Always a cool moment when we get the big final in tennis. 40-15 Khachanov. This has the feelings to me like it's going to be like 7-5 or 7-6 in the third set. I don't know if it's going to happen, but when was the last time? What are the last times we've had like 7-5 or 7-6 in the third set? Kind of a match. Cincinnati 2023 is a memorable one. Might be the last time we had 7-6. 1-0 for Khachanov. Okay, break time. Yeah, exactly. So looking at the stats of the match. Nine aces to 2 for Shelton, not surprising. First serve percentage has gone higher for Shelton, like he needed it to. Shelton saving 5 out of 6 break points is very good. Shelton, on average, serving above 200 kilometers an hour. 200 kilometers an hour. Winners to errors. I mean, Khachanov doing pretty good in that compartment, I will say. Net points won, yeah. Khachanov 12 for 14. Shelton only 8 for 14. He would want that number to be higher, Shelton. The amount of net points he's winning, but Khachanov is doing a good job giving him trouble when he's come to net. There's no doubt. Shelton misses first serve. Second serve here for Ben. Fifth double fall of the match for Ben. Ben is 6'4". Yeah, both these guys are tall guys. Yeah, we haven't had a whole lot of Masters 1000 finals that have gone to 5-5 in a third set. To me, it feels like this one is likely going to. We'll see if it does. We had Rublev versus FAA in Madrid. That was a good match. It wasn't a great match. To me, this is a better match than that one so far. Even though it was good, but it wasn't incredible. I don't think this one's incredible either, but it's good. Has definitely the potential to be a great final by the time it ends. Hurkacz versus Rublev, 7-6 the third. Djokovic versus Alcaraz, 7-6 in the third. That was back in 2023. Runa versus Rublev, Monte Carlo 2023. But really, since 2023, to me, we haven't had a great 7-5 in the third Masters 1000 final. So I would let 7-5 or 7-6 in the third Masters 1000 final. So I would like to see that. I would like to see that happen. Since Cincinnati 2023, or I guess since Shanghai 2023. Two hours and 4 minutes played. Still more story to be written here in this match. Still got the end of the story to be written. Shelton, that's the game apiece. Shelton looking to switch his rackets with the new ball. Big serve, Ben 142. She's doing it consistently. Shelton does consistently 140. And Pechi Pericard does consistently 150. We need a guy to come up and just consistently just hit 160 out of nowhere. Just all the time hitting 160 miles per hour serves. Ivo Karlovic comes back better than ever. Serve, Khachanov goes wide. I mean, the crowd at times been a little bit inappropriate with their crowd noise, just cheering. A lot of people cheering at the wrong times. It's completely disrupted Karine there. 15 off. First double fall of the match for Karine, which is impressive in its own right. Big serve down the tee from Karine. 35 for Karine, 315. Just reading up on Victoria Mboka Wikipedia, we might be seeing her in a lot more in tournaments. I won't be surprised if one day she's world number one. I'm not saying she will be, but I won't be surprised. I kind of thought that after like Wimbledon, like just watching her at Wimbledon and talking to her, she was so impressive to me. I was thinking like her ceiling is so high. Like there's something about this girl. Really good ball striker. And fought super well in the tournament too. Saved a couple match points against Rybakina. Against the Rybakina serve. Forehand inside out. Backhand Shelton. Forehand of Khachanov hits it out. We all. Big point coming up. Serve out wide, back in. Shelton. Forehand of Khachanov. Cross court, back of Shelton. Misses it. 40-30, Karine Khachanov. Big serve out wide. Shelton return goes long. 2-1 for. This is going to be a tiebreaker. I just feel it in my soul. This is going to be a tiebreaker. We're going to a tiebreaker. Let's see. Let's see if my feeling is right. Do you guys also feel like it's going to be a tiebreaker? Both guys, I mean, every set has been tight. We had a tiebreaker in the first set. Both guys have been, I don't know. It just feels like we're about to see a tiebreaker. I mean, we need how many more holds without these guys breaking serve? Actually, in the first set, to be fair, Khachanov was serving for the match, and then Shelton broke back, and we still saw a tiebreaker. So we could still potentially see breaks, and then it ends up being a tiebreaker. But It would be 12 games total. We need to see 9 more holds of serve. We'll see. Yeah, she's good for real. Mboko is solid. Anthony, you were at Wimbledon this year. How was it? Tell more stories, please. Yeah, it was awesome. Stories. I'm still processing from the event, but it was like 12 o'clock at night, midnight. Djokovic always takes his sweet time with the pressers at tournaments. It's all on his own time, which is fine. He deserves that. But we didn't know when he was going to actually come out and do the presser. And there are actually not that many people left, but there were enough of the reporters because everybody wants to do a Djokovic press conference. But for his first round, yeah, I was able to get a question to him. And I was hoping to do the Djokovic press conference for media day, but wasn't able to, which is fine. But yeah, first try at a Djokovic press conference, I got a question to him, which was awesome. And he was not really what I expected, definitely intimidating, but also very gentle, just the way he was and the way he spoke. And I got like a 2-minute answer out of him. And then midway through, I was like zoning out looking at him. I was like prepping myself. I was like, okay, I back myself like mentally. I can be strong like in these moments and just like be locked in. But I was also like zoning out. I was like, how long is this guy going to be talking? He was giving a very good thought out answer. I was like, Jesus Christ, like I need to zone in because the GOAT is talking to me right now. This is going to a tiebreaker 100%. Shelton hits a forehand winner, 30 love. So that was cool. And then what else? First point I watched was in Wimbledon qualifying. I walked in on Carson Branstein, who was incredibly intense player. She got through some amazing matches at qualifying. Beat Louis Bosson in Bosson's first match since she made the quarterfinals of Roland Garros. Upsets her 6-4 in the third set. Amazing match in the first round of qualifying. And this like small little club in Roehampton. I mean, it's kind of small, but it's got like 18 courts, and it was an amazing facility in its own right. And the access there is amazing. The people who worked out the tournament did an amazing job because if you think about it, you have 128 players, just like at Wimbledon. Actually, 256, 128 for the women's, 128 for the men. So the organizers in a much smaller facility have to do a really good job of keeping everything organized. The reporters, the fans who can pretty much come watch for free, I think, or maybe it's like $10. I don't remember, but yeah, that's interesting. And the first point I watched of her match, well, first of all, Branstein was really interesting and intense. She told me that she felt like she outplayed every player she's ever played in her junior career and her professional career. And I could tell that she meant it. She was like, every person I've ever played, I outplayed them. But it's a very good high sense of confidence that I guess you need in a sense, but it was really intense. And we got to talk to her for like 10 minutes. She seemed really eager to talk. But the first point I watched of the tournament, she shanks a ball and she shanks a forehand. The ball goes way behind her outside the stadium. And she's like laughing. She was very vocal on the court, whether she was laughing or screaming or whatever. She wore her heart on her sleeve and talked a lot to her box. And she said to the crowd behind her, like, I was just making sure that you guys were watching as the ball like kind of bounced into the crowd or right behind the crowd. And that was the very first point I saw of the whole Wimbledon, which was really weird and interesting. Yeah. I can tell more stories as well, but it was, grass tennis, shout out to grass tennis. And we still need a grass Masters 1000. All the people with, real ball knowledge understand we need a grass Masters 1000. If you don't think we need a grass Masters 1000, you don't have supreme ball knowledge. Thanks. Backhand Shelton, that's in the net. Hold to love, a couple holds to love. 3-2. Dominant holds. Because if you think about it, like even if you hate grass tennis, like it would obviously the level at Wimbledon would be higher if we had a grass Masters 1000. You can't even argue it because there's evidence of it. when player Andy Murray, before he wins Queens and then he goes on to win Wimbledon, Djokovic has played on grass for 15 years. That's why he's so good on grass now. It's like the more you play on grass, hey, the better you are on grass. So if we got more players, ability, especially young players, ability to practice and play real match play against the best on grass, the level would get higher. So even if you hate it, it would be better if we had a Grass Masters 1000. So yeah, really solid. I think both guys feel relatively unbreakable at the moment. What are the serve stats in the set so far? And how does it compare to the other sets? Just going to look at the serve stats for set number 3. Yeah, I mean, can't be better. It cannot be better than this. It's as good as you'd want. Comparing set 2, Shelton's first serve percentage, yeah, 71, both guys. Serving really well in the second set as well. It's the first set where both guys were very dicey on serve. Relatively dicey. Khachanov, well, mostly Shelton, I guess, because 55% first serves in, 50%. He still had 3 set points, but which he failed to convert, obviously. If not, he wouldn't have lost the first set. More stories from Wimbledon. I'm trying to think what else. It's such a blur, the whole event, but I got to sit courtside watching Fonseca versus Jensen Brooksby, and it was amazing. I'm not even like the biggest Fonseca fan around, but there was something about that match. Like, you occasionally you just turn on a match and it's not like the final of a slam. It's like maybe like the third round of a 250, but for some reason the level is just amazing and it's really enjoyable. Like it was this, like the second round outside court, but for some reason every other point was just breathtakingly good. And I didn't realize how quick Brooksby is. Like he was actually pretty quick at times. And there were a lot of great rallies. So that was fun. That was my favorite like match I watched, honestly, for some reason. Center court, so huge and gigantic. Asking questions to players. The first media day was surreal. Asking having one-on-ones with Medvedev, Monfils, Rybakina. It was outrageous. You just have Djokovic walking around. It was like clearly the height of tennis journalism. Like this is the place where you want to be. It's the central of tennis journalism. Big ace from Shelton. So that was exciting. And yeah, right when I walk into like the tennis media facility, it's like right on the outside court, you see like Andreeva practicing against Coco Gauff, and it's amazing. It's like, I don't know, really amazing opportunity to watch matches and ask players questions. A lot of work though, and a lot of moving around, but also quite fun. But definitely intense just being in London as somebody from the States, and then also being at one of the biggest sporting events in the world. And to me, my favorite. So it was a crazy opportunity, and I hope to be back as well. And like Robbie Koenig sat next to me at the media restaurant. Martina Navratilova was like inches behind me at the media restaurant at one point. Like there's some crazy stuff happening. Shelton double faults for like the 6th time. That's like the first service point that either player has lost. It feels like in like 12 consecutive points or something. 40-15 here. Martina, who I still consider the GOAT, by the way, Navratilova, she was incredible. Not that I watched her in her prime, but just looking back, she's amazing. Backhand up high, forehand of Shelton. Inside out, forehand of Khachanov. That's too good. 3-3. And my favorite player I spoke to was potentially Mira Andreeva. I was just really happy to get some good answers out of her. And obviously, interviewing Victoria Mboko now before her breakthrough tournament is amazing too. And I'm glad that before I had that interview, like I had the thought, like this really could be like the next like great champion. So I'm happy I kind of was cognizant of who I was interviewing at the time, Because just watching her, I already kind of felt she was amazing. And watching her interviews to prep, I was like, wow, she is so mature for her age. Forehand squash shot. That's going to be a double bounce. Shelton is challenging to make sure it was a double bounce, but it definitely was. It's going to show that it was very much a 2-2 bounces, but good effort from Shelton anyway. He probably just wants a break to breathe, to be honest, so I don't blame him anyway. That's definitely, by the way, why he challenges, because he just wants some time to breathe. What is this weird angle? Why would that be the angle? Very clearly a double bounce. Not even close. Yeah, double bounce. He got it right as he bounced. Yeah, 2 bounces. Yep. Smart from Shelton anyway. He got more time to breathe after running a marathon across the court. Glad he had a good time. Thanks for the inside scoop. Yeah, no problem. I'll chat more about it too down the road, but it's still very much something I'm processing. But yeah, I don't know. To be honest, the last like 5 days, it was weird. It was like the first week was very long. The second week went by really quickly. It was strange. It felt like it was over before I knew it. It was weird, and I was like, "What happened that day? What happened this day?" I don't know. The last like week or so kind of was a blur in a weird way. And I guess I wish I had more time to. I wish I took in matches a little bit more. I was often like looking at. I was cognizant at the time. I was like, man, I should watch more matches and really take it in. But yeah, I was very a lot of stress too, running around, prepping questions, making sure I was at the right place. Um, but I did have a lot of great experiences, and definitely look forward to coming back too. And it was great. London was fun. 30 love, both guys not losing a lot of points on serve. Forehand to the backhand of Shelton. Neither they're not losing a whole lot of points on serve in this second set or the third set. It's they've served better and better as the match has gone on. Pretty much both of them, particularly Ben. Unforced errors 40 for Shelton, 25 for Khachanov. To be honest, it's not that surprising, that number. Probably kind of what you expect. Maybe a few more unforced errors than Shelton would have wanted, though. For sure. So hold to love, another one for Korean Khachanov, barely losing points on serve. In fact, how many has he lost on serve this set? Has he lost a point on serve this set? He's lost 3 points on serve. 12 out of 13 on first serve. Ridiculous. Korean clutch serving in one of the most important matches of his career. For sure. Two hot takes from you. I'm not a fan of this new Masters format. Anthony, I think he'd look great in a monocle in the top. Would I? Monocle in the top hat. In a monocle, I would look sick. I agree with you there, definitely. Um, Monocle for sure, I would look sick. You're telling me I need like the Mr. Peanut look, which, you know what? I think you might be onto something. Mr. Peanut Monopoly Man. Maybe I'll try it. I'll try it. That's what I'm missing in my life, I think. So when do you move to Wimbledon? Uh, well, if it was happening year round, I would consider it, but it's not. So Mr. Peanut goes to London. That's insane. Yeah, the new Masters format is not good. I'm glad that Sinner spoke out about it because it sucks, in my opinion. Because also, like, hey, by the way, Atlanta Open would still be here if it wasn't for the 2-week Masters. And so would Newport, which has been around for over 100 years. And has a great facility and has a great history and has the Hall of Fame ceremony tied to it, or had the Hall of Fame ceremony tied to it. It's like decimating a lot of tournaments that are great tournaments right around the scheduling. And also, it's just a drag. We don't need it. It's not good for the players either. I think that's why we're seeing a lot of health issues as well. And the players at the top who are more can afford more this kind of best trainers around and being really cognizant about that, like they will do better now, not just at the 2-week Masters, but throughout the whole season. So the gap is widening due to the 2-week Masters. It's not making the Masters more respected and closer to slams. It's just a bit stupid. I don't know, in my opinion. Whenever you try to force something to be as good as something else, like it's probably not going to work. That's what this feels like. It feels like it's forcing the Masters to be a slam, which it just isn't, which is fine. You can work around that instead of trying to change it. Forehand, cross court, Khachanov with the lob. Forehand, Shelton again attacking. That's going to be too good. Yeah, both guys barely losing points on serve. Shelton making more first serves in now. 40 love. I agree totally. Yep. Rabakna spoke out against it too. Good. Player first is a good format, honestly. Player first is often fan first. If you're taking in what the players want, it's often what the fans want too. Because guess what? We want to see good tennis, right? So, hey, make sure the players are getting treated right and are getting what they want too. Because then we usually get higher level of tennis. Forehand in the net from Shelton, 40-15. Ryan Shelton telling Ben way to attack with conviction there, even though he missed in the net, which I like. Hit it just because you win the point doesn't mean you did things right. Just because you lost the point doesn't mean you did things wrong. Serve Shelton down the middle, forehand, cross court to the back end of Kareen, back end of Shelton, back cross court, forehand of Kareen, back end down the line, big shot, big strike. Both guys are in an absolute flow on their serves. Great final here. And both guys fighting for a big Masters 1000 title in their career. No doubt. 4-4. 4-4 here in the third set. 32-minute third set so far. Before 8 games, that's not that long, especially with changeovers. Like both guys are pretty much breezing through their service games. Back end return, forehand of Kareen. These are the moments where you can get a little bit more nervy. Backhand, Kareen to the back end of Shelton. It's in the net. He's got to make that. Bad miss for Ben. 15 love for Khachanov. That could have made a big difference winning the first point of that game. Coach of Kareen telling him to I can't hear exactly, but some like make sure he's positioning his legs the right way or something. Use his legs. Double fault for Kareen, just a second of the match. 15 all. I wish there was a clear explanation for what they're trying to accomplish. Yeah, 100% with the longer Masters tournament. So just a money grab, more day, more sales. Yeah. I would think that's probably part of it. Forehand chip, that's going to be out 30-15. It's not like there are no positives with them, but there's more negatives than positives if you're asking me. Serve Khachanov. Forehand Shelton. Goes to the forehand of Khachanov. Back in Shelton. Down the line. Back into Khachanov. Forehand. Down the line. Forehand of Shelton. Cross court. Back into Khachanov. Back into Shelton. Down the middle. Backhand. Good angle from Shelton, but backhand down the line is exquisite from Khachanov. Arguably his best shot of the match. Definitely in the top 3. Great shot. Yeah, absolute strike. Shelton played a fantastic point. Khachanov using his legs in that moment to great success. 40-15. Both guys dominating on their serves in this third set. Playing a high level, both. Forehand of Shelton. Cross court. Drop shot. Khachanov. Shelton has a play on this. Slice deep down the line. Smash. Put away. Pistol Pete is in the building. Ben Shelton with the jumping overhead. 40-30 for Khachanov. He's going to pop on that thing. I think he jumped up a bit. Yeah, he got that out. Almost hit the cameraman there. Yeah, it was over as soon as I didn't hate the drop shot play, but I think Karin mishit it a bit. Slightly too heavy-handed. Umpire's got to control the crowd here. They're getting too noisy at the wrong moments. Big serve from Karin. Shelton almost got it back, but too good. 5-4. Karin Khachanov is 1 game away from his first Masters title since 2018, his second Masters title, period. And his first on outdoor hard courts as well. Beautiful, yep. Shelton reaction after Kaboli match was embarrassing, bro. He needs to be humbled. All right, ultrasound. We have a passionate opinion. Fair enough. JMP out of Cincy already. Jari out too. Yeah, I saw somebody else pretty good lost too. Can't remember who it was. Well, Jerry Shang lost. He's lost both of his matches since he came back. His first matches since the Australian Open, where he retired against Fokina early on in that match. It's so weird that we have a Masters final going on at the same time as Cincinnati's happening. It's kind of stupid, but we have a final on a Thursday and whatever. Yeah, Arnaldi's out. Nishioka is out. 6-2, 6-2 to Atmain. Gaston is out. Tabilo's out. Mute is still playing really well. Manarino 6-2, 6-2 over Thompson. Okay. MS Wu Yibing. Yeah, exactly. Well, where is he? I think he's playing this week, actually. He's been around. He's playing tomorrow, according to this. He just played in Washington. I mean, he's around. He beat Kruger, Mute, Monfils, Popperin in Washington, lost to Medvedev, and this week he's playing a challenger. So he's still around. I hope he's around in U.S. Open. I would love to see him in Winston-Salem. Yes, please. That would be amazing. He's one of my favorite players. Love watching him. Let's go, Ben. Serve up big. See what we can do. 4-5. Big moment. I'll reiterate it for the last time. Ben looking for his first 1,000 versus Khachanov looking for a second. Too good with the serve. Out wide. Screamer. Banger of a serve. Big. 224 kilometers an hour. 15 love. Hell of a way to start up the most important service game, arguably, of Ben's career so far. You would have to say. Backhand's going to be out. The return. 2 first serves from Ben. He only made 55% first serves in the first set, but in this set, it feels like he's making like 80 or 90%. What is the number exactly? $65, but still very good. It's kind of what you want, especially serving as big as Ben. Second serve for the American. Kicked. It's going to be forehand. Shang goes out. 40 love. Djokovic inching. Thoughts on Novak skipping Cincinnati? The end is near. Djokovic inching closer and closer to retirement. I mean, I don't read that like that at all, to be fair. I think I mean, the man didn't play the ATP finals last year. I think the guy is literally just like doesn't give an F anymore. And he's like, I want slams. I don't care about rankings. I want slams. I've already been world number one for 1,600 weeks. I don't need the rankings. I want slams. I'm only going to play 4 slams a year, and I'm going to play till I'm 55. And if eventually I win one more, that'll be successful. If I win 25, already 24 is successful. But I think that's what that is. Forehand cross score. It's going to be out from Karine. 5-5. Shelton holds at love in the most important service game of his career so far. Anthony, do you actually think Nole can win the U.S. Open? Yes, I think he can. I don't think he will. But I think he can. I mean, he's got to the semis of all 3 slams so far this year. Lost to Sinner. I guess at the Aussie Open, he lost to Zverev. He was pretty. He had to retire in that match, but I don't think he will. I think even though he's made the semis, he's kind of far from it. But I think a big reason that is Sinner and Alcaraz. I think it's possible. I think he can. I don't think he will, but I think he should be in the conversation. Come on, Ben. Yep. Backhand down the line. 5-5. The first 7. Oh, what a get from Shelton. The forehand. Forehand from Karine. Backhand. Shelton on the stretch. Swinging volley. Shelton defending a crazy point smash. That's going to be too much. Couple of points now where Shelton is actually putting together a really impressive defensive ability, but he's not really able to turn the point around. Khachanov too solid, too strong. And I was going to say, this is the first 7-5 in the third set Masters 1000 finals since FAA and Rublev last year. And I would say this match was better than that one. Can't imagine anyone getting past Sinner, maybe Carlos, and that's it. I think that's valid, honestly. I'm not going to say it's not valid. We can't forget Sinner almost lost to Grieger at Wimbledon. So, I mean, he's not, infallible. He lost to Bublik and Halle. We'll see. Obviously, that is on grass. Hard court, he is insane. Backhand, cross court, forehand of Khachanov, forehand of Shelton. Backhand of Khachanov, forehand. Shelton, again to the backhand of Khachanov, down the line. Backhand slice Shelton, just crossing the net. Forehand of Shelton, cross court, great shot. Shelton slicing. Hell of a point. Khachanov is the victor of it. 40 love. This man, I think, has lost 3 points on serve. All set. How many points has Shelton lost on serve? Both of these guys just almost not losing any points on serve in this third set. Yeah, Shelton's lost 4 points on serve. Khachanov has lost 5 points on serve. Absolutely insane. Single digits. These guys have lost a single digits amount of serve points in the set altogether. Neither guy having any kind of a look in the service games. This is about to be 70-68 third set tiebreaker. They're going to break the record for craziest numbers in tennis. It's going to be 71-69. Big forehand return. Forehand slice. Backhand slice. Shelton comes to net. Backhand pass. Shelton volley. Drop volley. Shelton doesn't try for the next one. Just walking to the chair. 6-5 for Khachanov. 43-minute long third set. 6-5. Once again, guys, don't forget to subscribe. Quality Shot Tennis. We do live streams like this a lot. And also check out the new Tennis Era podcast that I do weekly Monday releases. I'll try to see if I can get one done for this final, maybe tomorrow. Can't promise that, but I'll try to get one done for this. Been a really good final, actually. I've enjoyed this. Cool. The fans might get a deciding set tiebreaker in the finals. Yeah, we haven't had one since Shanghai. Great quality match. I agree. So now Alcaraz didn't exist. Novak would have won 30 slams already. I mean, you can say that about like so many things. If Federer and Djokovic and Murray didn't exist, Rafa would have had 46 slams. Like, you're probably right, but like, Nadal said it best. If doesn't exist. It's crazy that none of the 90s it's crazy Sinner and Alcaraz weren't. If Sinner and Alcaraz were born in the same year as Dimitrov was born, it would have been really interesting to see them in their prime against the big three in their prime. That could have happened. It's crazy in the 90s generation didn't take more from the big three. I think that has more to do with the big three than it does with the 90s generation, but it's crazy. Yeah, don't forget to like as well, guys. Would be well appreciated. Definitely helps out the channel a lot. And what we've got going on, ring the notification bell and just, stay around quality shot tennis. We just went to Wimbledon, and I'm going to Winston-Salem Open. We're doing things, so stick around with the channel. We're got some exciting stuff coming up. So that's it. Shelton serve at 5-6 in this one. Yeah, stick around on the channel for more good stuff. It's Shelton with the forehand, inside in, back in of Khachanov. What? Oh, he almost made the passes. Would have been an incredible shot. Has to give a smile. I mean, both guys have won 9 points on return in this set. Both guys are serving lights out. 15 love, Shelton. It's crazy. We had 2 consecutive Masters 1000 finals with a third set tiebreaker, and we haven't had one since. It's not crazy we haven't had one since, but it's crazy we had 2 in a row. Rublev and Hurkacz saving a championship point, and Djokovic versus Alcaraz, Djokovic saving a championship point. So historically, somebody's going to save a championship point here if we do get third set tiebreak. When's the last time we had a third set tiebreaker before that in a Masters final? It might have been Djokovic versus Nadal Miami, whenever that was. Let me know if you guys know the last time before that. But I can't think of it off the top of my head. So let me know if you guys know what that is. Big serving from Ben Shelton. And we are being treated to a third set tiebreaker. Let me know who you've got, who's going to win. It gets down to the wire. It's been a great quality, great match. People said this is the craziest, worst Masters 1000 final, which I don't understand anybody who said that. It makes no sense. You don't know ball. That's all I got to say to those people. And I'm taking Ben Shelton 7-5. Let me know what you guys think. Whoever gets the closest, I'll shout you out. Fair enough. 140 majors. Shelton 109 of 107. Well, that would be probably the craziest thing that would happen in tennis history. Shelton wins the first point. Some big hitting. Couple big forehands from Ben set that up as Karin folded with a forehand the net. Can't miss a shot like that. This can get away from him quickly. Remember, it's not a 10-point tiebreaker. This is a 7-point tiebreaker. It's first to 7. Win by 2. Forehand chip. That's in the ground. 2-0 for Shelton. I said Shelton in 3. Let's see. Shelton 7-3. 14-12 Ben. Crazy. Yep. Ben's tiebreaker is such a massive weapon in the tie breaks. It is. Yes. Ben serve. 100%. Both guys are serving lights out. Like I said, I mean, Shelton, I think, only lost 4 points on serve all set. So Karin needs to win at least one more. He's gonna be a finalist, which is still a great run for him, but he's gonna end up being a finalist in Toronto. Oh, big serve out wide. 3-0 for Ben Shelton. And I mean, I think he's had the highest level of this tournament, to be honest, consistently. I think across the tournament as a whole, Shelton, I'd probably say, has had the highest level. So I'm not mad if he wins his first Masters. And if he would be the first American Masters 1000 winner since Fritz, just the second since, I think, John Isner in 2018. Backhand cross court, forehand of Khachanov, backhand slice. Shelton, deep in the court, backhand. Shelton, very important point for Khachanov here. Needs this. Forehand, Khachanov, cutting it close, next to the line. That's going to go out. Must need point for Khachanov. He gets it, 3-1. Khachanov digging deep. How are you doing, Debbie? Good to see you. Shelton 10-8. All right. Good to see you, Debbie. In the chat, everybody who's joined in. Joe, Naked Eyes Ghost, Peyton Sturgis won her match in Cincy straight sets. If she's not playing Venus, nobody has a chance. Forehand. Oh, Shelton goes for the flashy shot. Almost made it, to be fair. 3-2. Just one mini break divides these two. Very doable for Khachanov. Very doable. We'll see if nerves creep up on Shelton. He has this kind of fearless persona about him. He seems to show up for these moments. It's one of the best things about Shelton that really makes him stand out. See if he keeps it going. Misses that first serve by a lot. But nobody's impenetrable to nerves. Serve back end of Khachanov, gets the return in. Forehand, down the line. Hell of a shot. Squash shot. Oh, almost a great squash shot. Shelton keeps getting the lines, but when he play well, you know, you start having more of the luck on your side. When you go big, when you play well, you know, it's probability. It's like things are going to go your way more than not if you're playing a good quality. You're going to get the net. You're going to get the lines, honestly. Even if some people don't realize that. Sometimes it is just lucky, though. Khachanov should crash the net more. Should crash the net more. He's done well at net tonight. Yeah, definitely. Once again, guys, don't forget to subscribe Quality Shot Tennis for more live streams and tennis content. Anthony Hirsch here with the call. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. It's been a great final. And shout out to tennis. Greatest sport in the world. Backhand's going to be out. Shelton, 5-2, 2 points away. Let's go, Shelton. All right. Let's go, Ben. We got a lot of people cheering on Ben. And also, could this be an important step in Americans tennis? You know, will we look back on this and think, man, this was the start of American tennis really placing it back on the map? I mean, Fritz, wow, big return off the forehand for Ben Shelton. Smashed. He's ready for his moment. 6-2, 4 championship points. Because Shelton, I mean, this guy, we saw Fritz at the final last year, U.S. Open, but if Shelton is the guy that a lot of people are pinning him as, this could be the moment we look at, or when Americans tennis found its way back its footing in the sport, but we'll see. We have no idea what it will look like historically, but for sure, historically, it's looking like it's going to be Shelton's first Masters 1000 title. Serve. Kareen, forehand. Shelton goes for another big forehand return, misses that one by quite a bit. Feels over just because of how well Shelton served in this set. 2 championship points on Shelton's serve. Serve from Ben. After 2 hours and 47 minutes. Backhand. Khachanov. Forehand of Shelton. Forehand of Khachanov's in the net. Ben Shelton is a Masters 1000 champion. He gets the title in Toronto. Has to fight back. Khachanov was up a set. It was 4-3 on Shelton's serve, 15-30. It was 4 games apiece. Khachanov was this close. Hats off to Korean Khachanov. We were served a fantastic Masters final. It is Ben Shelton that is painting a great new chapter in American tennis history, American men's tennis history, but also in his own history wins a first Masters 1000 title in what was a really great, long final. Quality just got better and better as he kept going. I thought he was tired in the second set. Found a way to pull it out. Strong stuff. Strong stuff. Thank you guys for joining in to this one. It's been a good call. It's been fun. Don't forget to subscribe. If you are new, who got the closest to the score? 7-3 for Shelton. Let's see. I'm going to scroll back up. Definitely not you, Ghost, but you had the winner right. You did have the winner right, to be fair. Yeah, you did. Okay, so shout out to Ron Baff's ear. You got it right. Shout out to you. Got it right on the dot. Good job, man. Let's go. I was so close with my 109, 107 prediction. Listen, if Khachanov makes that forehand over the net, you know it was going to be 109-107 for sure. We were this close. If Khachanov makes that forehand from two mini breaks down, oh, it's wraps. It would be 109-107. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thanks guys for joining in. Definitely join in for more streams down the road too. I'll do some streams for Cincy as well, no doubt, and hopefully for US Open as well. Shelton top 5 soon, definitely. It looks really likely because well, he passes Djokovic, by the way, so you know you can put up the the Shelton fans can put up the Shelton phone call meme because he just passed Djokovic in the rankings. But Jack Draper, I think he made quarters of Cincy last year, so Shelton, he's not going to gain any points. He's only going to lose those points, Draper. If I'm right that he made quarters, he did. So he's gonna miss it, and Shelton can only gain points, right? I don't know how Shelton did, but he definitely can gain a lot of points if he plays. Hopefully he plays because it is right back to back. It's kind of crazy. Wow, Ben didn't play Cincy last year, so he probably will be top 5, almost for sure. Almost for sure, he's going to be top 5, maybe for sure. I don't know exactly how many points Draper is dropping, but Shelton's a live number 6, which is career high ranking. How many points do you get for quarterfinals? Because Draper's 330 points ahead of Shelton. You got 200. So if Shelton, by my calculations, if Shelton makes quarterfinals of Cincinnati, then he's going to pass him already. So if by my calculations, I might be wrong. I think this is right. If Shelton gets at least quarterfinals in Cincinnati, he's going to pass Draper for top 5 spot. Unless somebody else catches up too, but you don't really know. Yeah, thanks, Mike. Thank you, Joe. Won the bag. I bet on Shelton. Nice one. I said Shelton in 3. I said Shelton in 2 against Fritz. I said Shelton in 3 against Korean. I had it right. Thank you, Ghost, for joining in. Thank you, everybody. Ghost, Joe, Ultrasound. Yeah, Shelton gets it done. I'm going to hop off. Great match, long stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. Keep quality shot tennis on your radar. I'll be in Winston-Salem Open August 16th to 20th. Ring the notification bell to get notified for those interviews. Check out the interviews that I've done on this channel. In fact, I'll link one right now. I'll link in the chat an interview I had with Victoria Mboko at Wimbledon before her breakthrough tournament. It was awesome. This is just 2 minutes of a 7-minute conversation I had with her. But let me link that in the chat so you guys can watch that if you are interested. It was a great chat. Mboko interview at Wimbledon. My interview with Mboko linked up in the chat. Give it a like, give it a watch. And yeah, don't forget to like the stream if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys at the next stuff. Ben Shelton is a Masters 1000 champion in Toronto. See you guys at the next one.
us.